etapa número 18 do Tour de França Virtual com o Diogo Oliveira. Confesso que não tive a oportunidade de ver nada da etapa que fizeste hoje, Diogo, peço imensa desculpa, mas estou curioso em perceber o que é que se passou.
Não tens pedido desculpa. Olá, Fábio. Olá a todos. Hoje era uma etapa que eu estava um bocadinho ansioso ontem à noite, para ser franco. Era uma etapa plana e nós já sabemos o que é que acontece nos planos, não é? É muita sofrência. Acho que sofro mais numa etapa destas do que sofri, por exemplo, nas 2 horas e as 3 montanhas da semana passada. Pelo ritmo explosivo, não é? Que a gente já vem a falar. Eu vou partilhar o ecrã. Foi uma etapa relativamente que correu como eu queria. Aquela previsão
Boa.
sim, a previsão que fizemos ontem estava correta, ou seja, recuperar aqui o que aconteceu, ou desculpa, o que é que tínhamos da altimetria, na verdade começava muito plano, tinha ali uma coisa explosiva, que é engraçado que houve um ataque muito forte, até posso mostrar essa parte.
Boa.
Eu descolei do grupo e fiz aquilo que deveria ter feito ontem, por exemplo, que é um esforço de dentes cerrados para fazer um sprint e chegar lá à frente e filo. E depois chegou esta parte e houve outro mega ataque. A maior parte dos Bs descolaram todas nesta subida, mas o Harbour e o Alan ficaram na frente, o que era um perigo.
Nice.
Esta questão dos S, eles passaram no grupo da frente, mas eu duvidava mesmo muito que eles conseguissem aguentar esta subida na frente e foi isso que aconteceu. Mais ou menos a meio da subida, eles ficam para trás, não aguentam o ritmo, ficam os dois e ficam ali a 15, 16 segundos, mas decidem ir ao seu ritmo e esperar pelo grupo de trás. Eu estava no segundo grupo, tinha também um colega de equipa hoje, o Pedro Paulo, um atleta mais pesado, com muitos votos puros, e portanto senti-me relativamente protegido. Apesar de ter descolado, acho que nunca entrei em pânico, nunca queimei fichas nesta subida, porque mal os via descolar, sabia o que é que ia acontecer. Tinha muito tempo para voltar a colar até eles, ou eles gastavam uma energia absurda, e eu ainda por cima com o Pedro Paulo conseguimos puxar no plano, e portanto nunca paniquei, e acabamos mais ou menos a meio, se calhar talvez aqui nesta parte, de colar ao grupo, e depois fizemos uma segunda volta mais controlada. A partir daqui foi sempre controlado. Tive ali algum receio em alguns momentos, e portanto eu e o Pedro colocamos um pace alto para evitar ataques. Acontece uma coisa estranha, que é o Harbour, mais ou menos nesta parte aqui, antes do fim da primeira volta, ele deixa-se ficar para trás para carregar um grupo que há 50 segundos. Atletas muito pesados, mas certamente que eram amigos dele e ele sabia que o grupo ia relativamente a um ritmo controlado para ele voltar a colar. Ele fez um mega esforço, acho que queimou alguns cartuchos, eventualmente para amanhã. Vamos ter o Harbour daqui um bocado, por isso gostava de lhe perguntar isso, o que é que o motivou. Mas eu fiquei com medo, Fábio, sabes? Porque um daqueles atletas é o Norwood, que nos lembramos que é aquele atleta que me fez algum bullying psicológico, um atleta muito pesado, com muitos watts, e eu sabia que se os deixasse colar demasiado cedo no plano, que poderia ser perigoso, porque me podiam atacar e em vez de 3 estavam 5.
Pois,
Então,
se calhar era essa a estratégia até.
eu acho que era essa a estratégia, podemos perguntar ao Harbour, mas aquilo que aconteceu foi eu e o Pedro decidimos colaborar. Eu tive alguns períodos a trabalhar a 4.9, 4.8 na frente, para não deixar o meu grupo ir a um ritmo ali muito tranquilo, e eles acabaram só por colar mais ou menos para aí nesta parte. E aqui para mim já não havia perigo, porque eu conseguia-me sempre defender bem de qualquer um deles na subida. Aliás, eu fiz grande parte da subida à frente para evitar ataques. E depois foi de alguma forma rolar bem posicionado até à meta. Eu estou a fazer esta.
Sim, tu falaste que querias mostrar-nos um ataque, mas enquanto estás a fazer essa mudança e mostrar esse ataque, queria-te fazer uma pergunta, que foi ontem, houve uma certa frustração, uma etapa bastante frustrante para ti. Como é que descrevias a etapa 2?
Esta etapa era uma etapa que eu estava ansioso. Espera, enquanto vemos aqui o ataque a correr de fundo, respondo à tua pergunta. Hoje eu entrei ansioso na prova, devo admitir. Descansou-me ver que o Pedro Paulo conseguiu ajudar-me, ou conseguia dar para me ajudar. Um atleta, como eu disse, com muitos watts, e acho que depois também ajudou eu sentir-me numa forma relativamente boa. E acho que também a experiência dos últimos dias me tem ajudado a não panicar demasiado cedo e saber reagir. Por exemplo, o que acontece aqui, enquanto estamos a ver, acho que é uma demonstração de experiência e amadurecimento da minha parte desde o início do tour.
O que é que leva a crer
Porque
isso?
Repara, o grupo já partiu aqui. Eu estou num grupo de Bs, mas sei que o Alan, por exemplo, já está ali na frente. Eu
Uhum.
tentei, em vez de dar um sprint e colar demasiado cedo e queimar os meus cartuchos, manter um ritmo muito alto no draft. É isto que eu tento ver, que eu vejo atletas a fazer sprints, a passar por mim, mas acabo por não atacar e queimar o meu cartucho final demasiado cedo. Continuo ali a 180 BPMs, mas repara, recorrentemente ali a 350 watts, é um esforço longo. Aqui o grupo já partiu, repara mesmo que acontece aqui um corte total. Neste momento tenho 0 draft, estou a 400 watts, 420. Na prática o Wade está comigo, mas eu não hesitei e fechei este grupo sozinho, levei o Wade no draft, foi bom para ele, mas soube sofrer, chegar ali aos 185 BPMs, mas sem nunca queimar um cartucho totalmente, sabes? Então acho que essa é a análise que faço relativamente ao amadurecimento e a sentir-me taticamente mais forte e esclarecido durante a prova.
O
Isso
que é que
dá-me
acontece a
tranquilidade,
seguir
não
na
é?
montanha? Estava a falar também que houve alguma estratégia na montanha.
Sim, olha, por exemplo, este ataque, este é o primeiro ataque, que foi aí 1 ou 2 quilómetros a seguir àquele ataque que acabamos de ver, e onde os As esticam todos. Isto era uma subida muito curta, mas repara, eu vou ali a 400 volts e estou a ficar para trás, ou 300 e muitos, não é? E a ficar para trás mais uma vez aqui, se calhar o Diogo dos primeiros stages, das primeiras etapas, panicava e tentava fazer um sprint e queimava-me todo. E aqui tentei meter o meu ritmo super alto, sabendo que a maior parte dos vezes estavam comigo. Vi o Alan e o Harbour no grupo da frente, mas sabia o que aí vinha, fruto da preparação, aquela montanha mais elevada. Primeiro vinha um par de pernas de altos e baixos, que ia ser muito penoso para eles. Portanto, eu tentei me proteger aí. E depois naquela montanha de 2 km, eu tinha quase a certeza que eles não iam conseguir aguentar e foi o que aconteceu. Felizmente não ficou nenhum A com eles e, e isso permitiu-me gerir a prova, sabes, Fábio, sem nunca me exceder. E portanto acabo de fazer um balanço muito positivo porque a coisa foi muito bem controlada, principalmente a partir do momento que apanhamos o Alan e o Harbour. Eu sabia que era sobre estar bem posicionado e nunca permitir nenhum ataque por aí além.
Muito bom. Como é que foi o sprint final?
Boa questão. O sprint final começa a 1,6 km. Ou seja, havia muitos atletas aqui, por exemplo, os japoneses, que não estão a fazer o GC, ou já estão muito fora, alguns deles, e esses atletas vão lutar por vitórias de etapa, não é? Então há aqui um ataque que na verdade nem é 1,6, 1,7 ou 1,8 km, na verdade. E eu tento reagir, porque aquilo que não queria, eu não queria ganhar etapa, mas não queria gap também, não é? Eu reajo e respondo a este ataque, tentando me proteger, ou seja, mais uma vez sem queimando muitos cartuchos. Depois desta primeira tentativa não ser bem sucedida, o grupo acalma um bocadinho, eu tento respirar um bocadinho fundo e aquilo que vamos ver é um final, um final de loucos, né? Um último quilómetro a um ritmo absurdo, onde atletas muito pesados, como temos aqui, por exemplo, o Norwood, este atleta de laranja também é muito pesado e está com uma bicicleta aerodinâmica como eu, completamente aerodinâmica. Hoje não levei a Tron, levei completamente aerodinâmico porque tinha medo dos planos. E portanto, repara, isto foi um último quilómetro ali acima dos 400 watts e,
Qual?
e basicamente a ideia era chegar o mais rápido possível sem perder gap, mas sabia que nunca ia ganhar e nunca tentei ganhar. Era basicamente
E
encurtar
foi o que
espaços.
aconteceu?
Foi o que aconteceu. Acabei em sétimo, mas até, olha, fiquei à frente do Wade, fiquei à frente do Harbour, porque eles estavam claramente com o mesmo mindset, né? O mindset de chegar no grupo da frente e that's it. O Pedro Paulo, eu não queria ficar à frente dele, deixei-o ficar à minha frente, ou seja, eu fui a maior parte do sprint à frente dele, mas depois até baixo um bocadinho e ele passa por mim, era esse o meu objetivo.
Muito bom.
E chegamos aqui.
E ainda bem que estás a falar do Harbour e do Wade, porque nós agora vamos ter aqui o Harbour connosco, vamos fazer uma entrevista que vai mudar um bocadinho a linguagem do episódio para inglês, mas nós vamos tentar adicionar as legendas. Mas vamos passar agora para a entrevista com o Harbour. e saber um bocadinho mais qual é que é a estratégia da equipa, o objetivo que eles têm no Chasing Yellow, e perceber também um bocadinho se eles consideram o Diogo uma rivalidade interessante ou os TugaZ uma rivalidade interessante. Por isso, até já. Hey, Jamie. Thank you very much for joining us here. It's a pleasure to have you, especially because we've been talking about Jamie and NZBROs for a long time during our all our stages. So I'm really curious to know a little bit more about you, a little bit more about NZBROs, and also like maybe we can start with your own analysis of today's stage. How did it go for you?
Hard. It shouldn't have been as hard as it was, but I will talk about my silly effort that I did later on. But yeah, it was more difficult than it should have been. So yeah.
All right. Why was that? Tell me more about that.
Well, I feel like today's stage was the last friendly stage because tomorrow is going to be awful. 1,700 meters of climbing, I think.
On the
right?
Zwift.
Yeah, and hard. Out the Zwift is a tough climb. And so I think tomorrow it will explode. Everybody will be everywhere. So I felt like tonight it was nice that so Ryan Norwood and Al Feng, they've been with us since the beginning. They've also done every stage like Diogo and I. And I felt like we left them behind tonight, and I wanted us to be one. So
yeah, Diogo was just
then I feel bad. Then I feel bad. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Jamie. Let me be fully blunt with you about it. So what happened is when I saw you being dropped on purpose, I was a bit scared. You know, I was a bit scared because I'm pretty sure like you are friends with Ryan, and he's very okay. But at least
I don't know. I only know you, Kuna, just from riding, like on chasing, and Ken and Wade are the only other people I know.
Okay.
Well, like this.
Well, I'll tell you why then. I got scared because I thought maybe this is a NZBROs plan, because Ryan is super strong on the flats. He's really heavy, right? Yeah. So I said, oh, Jesus, if they come back too early on the flat, maybe I don't have 3 guys attacking me. I have 5 guys attacking me. So what I did, because I had a teammate too today, Pedro Paulo.
Pedro, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone is called Pedro, right? He's maybe the 3rd Pedro that has been helping me. But anyhow, it's a very common name in Portugal. So I said, let's keep a high pace because I don't want them to basically get in the bunch before the climbs. Otherwise, it might be risky for me. So on purpose, I put a high pace to make sure you don't come back before like the Titans Grove calm, you know? Sorry, because I made it harder for you, but I got scared, you know?
No. If I could have breathed, I would have messaged you to say, I'm only bringing it back so we can be as one. I don't know them, but I just felt like tonight we should all have been together. So for one last hurrah, as we would say in English.
That's a really interesting topic. Yeah, just go ahead.
Just one more comment before that. There's also a little thing that I shared with the audience back maybe last week. I don't recall the stage, but then it was that stage very hilly in New York. Do you recall? Like up and down. Jesus, I hate it.
Horrible.
I lost maybe almost 3 minutes and a half. It was really bad for me, you know. It's the worst type of stage for me. And I got dropped. And I was in a small group with Norwood, Fenk, and luckily I had Carlos Cunha at maybe the best teammates or the most regular teammates that I have. He was 5th in chasing pink. Not sure if you recall Carlos Cunha, very strong guy.
Yep. No, remember. Yep.
Yeah. And I was a bit bullied by Norwood, you know.
I remember seeing the messages.
It was a bit too much, you know. So personally, I said I respect Ryan and his team, and Feng has been like a very good buddy. Like he's around for more than a year. But then he messaged me and he said, yeah, Ryan maybe was a bit too harsh, because like I was completely broken with no legs. You know? I don't like to sit on the draft just because, but I was sitting because I have no legs. And he was bullying me, saying, hey, Oliveira, if you don't work, I'll make those legs working if you want or not.
I remember. I think I remember. Yeah.
So, sadly, I would say like I would never make Ryan Norwood's life easier to come back to the bunch today,
Yeah.
Because of that.
If I had remembered that, I wouldn't have been so nice. But yeah.
No problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever.
There's a really interesting topic here, Jamie. Sorry. Just finish your thoughts. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking. I don't know what all of our time gaps are, so I don't know where he is compared to you on the chasing tour. I look at it maybe once every 4 days just to sort of see, but I know that Ken and I were close for a little while, but yeah, I haven't checked, so I don't know if I was bringing it making it too competitive and close. So I apologize if I've brought him in and you wanted a gap. So
no, not at all, not at all. I mean, in that stage, that epic stage that we can talk about it, like last week, the high mountain stage, like when Alan got maybe 6 minutes behind us. I did a good climb. I was feeling good. But yeah.
You were a beast.
I thought I was breaking to some point because you were closing the gap and the gap and the gap until the last kilometer. So it was a very epic battle for me, I got good. Happy in the end. But my point is like Ryan lost 12 minutes or something like that in that stage, That's not the type of stage for him. So to be fair, is not the type of guy I'm competing. I have my eyes on Ken, just on Ken.
Same. If he wasn't a teammate, I wouldn't be so friendly.
I love one thing that you said, Jamie, and when Diogo asked you about like your communication and how you guys are planning riding together, I'm curious to know like how do you communicate between the NZBROs? And what I noticed as well was because it was the fact that you were surprised when Diogo said, I was feeling afraid, and you said like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So how do you evaluate what's happening without having any kind of feedback? Because you don't see people, right? You are a digital avatar, but you're creating these stories in your head, just like Diogo was creating. How does that have impact on you?
So to be honest, it's Diogo's fault that Ken and Wade and I talk now. So
tell me more.
Wade and I are very, very good friends outside of Zwift. We ride together all the time. We compete together as a team, 2-person team. We actually have a mountain bike race next weekend, a 6-hour mountain bike race next weekend together as a team. So Wade and I are very good friends. Ken, we know because he's also in our age group competing in mountain bike races, so we know him also. But other than that, we just are NZBROs. So early on in Chasing Yellow, only Wade and I would talk together, just via the chat on Zwift. But as it went on, and Diogo and the TugaZ team, TugaZ?
You can call it TugaZ, yeah.
TugaZ.
Because Tuga it means like Portuguese, Tuga, and then Z comes from Zwift, just so that you know.
Gotcha. Okay, there we go. That's clear enough. And so because Diogo always had teammates, and it was always like we could tell when Diogo would have someone like Carlos Cunha, someone strong on the front to stop the attacks by keeping the pace high. We were like, right, we need to come together, boys. And so Wade and Ken and I would talk just on the chat, and we would talk like tonight. We talked about when I was going to attack for the lead out for the finish, and but my legs were dead, so I left at 1 kilometer. We decided at 1 kilometer out I would sprint, and I would try and tow him for the finish. But man, my legs were so it did not work very well. But so we just talk on the chat. But you guys use Discord sometimes.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah. So,
but when we are a bigger team, we always use Discord. If I just have one or two teammates, for the sake of this competition, I'm not using a lot. But for instance, when we do ZRL or WTRL or other competitions, we always use Discord.
Yeah. It's like us. For ZRL and things, we use Discord. But Wade is not the most technically savvy, so he doesn't have Discord. And if I suggested it, he would go, no. So we just do chat.
How did the chasing yellow came about for you?
So Wade and I initially started it purely for training. It's what, 21 stages, and just every day. Zwift, I mean, Diogo's talked about it. Zwift is just hard. Every race is 1 hour, bang, bang, bang. So it's really good for your fitness. So we were just wanting to have a hard ride every night with good numbers and good competition. So, but as it went on and the competition with Diogo and stuff materialized and happened, it just got more and more fun. A lot of fun. So,
and your background comes from mountain biking, you were saying, right?
Yeah. We obviously.
When did you start Zwifting?
Properly Zwifting on a proper smart trainer during the lockdown for COVID-19. So what was that? 2020.
2020, yeah, something like that.
March or something. Yeah. So, but that's when I got seriously into it, and then it's just the addiction has continued. So yeah, I did a lot of ZRL. So.
Oh, you did ZRL? That is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's how I got into NZBROs. Through another friend that we cycle with was with NZBROs, and he said, "Oh, you should come and do ZRL and the time trial WTRL." He said, "You should come and do it. It's a lot of fun," and it is. So that's how I got into it. But
just for the context,
ZRL.
For the audience, ZRL stands for Zwift Racing League, and it's perhaps the most popular competition among Zwifters, I would say, right, Jamie?
Oh yeah, big time, huge numbers. Yeah.
But I have to say one thing: I prefer ZRL, like big time, than Chasing Yellow, and I'll tell you why. The format of racing all together, like all categories, and we race against the A's. It means like the pace is absolutely insane here. There is no time to rest. In ZRL, it's not like that, especially if you are strong enough, then you sit a lot in the draft, in the group, and you rest, you know?
It's
obvious. Yeah.
It's a lot more tactical from, equal, and you have to be tactical to make a difference. Whereas, I mean, Ken is really strong, so he can stay with the A's for those little 3 to 5 minute crazy power things. But then, like you and I and Wade, for the long 20-minute climbs, we leave him behind. So, it's... Whereas in ZRL, we're all Bs, we're all even, so you have to be a bit more tactical. It's I agree. I think ZRL is a lot more fun.
And ZRL, I would say for people like Ken, it's maybe even better because it's way more explosive. I mean, I have good numbers like in my 20 minutes and stuff like that, like you.
Yeah.
But I'm way less explosive than you, Wade, or Ken. So I really have to work on my explosiveness. After this tour, that will be my focus because my 1 and 2 minutes power is really, really low for my 20-minute power, you know, and ZRL favors these type of beasts, right? Very strong ones.
The blast off the front, the sprint off the front and things like that. I think little bit off the Zwift topic, but I think mountain biking helps with that little 2 to 3 minute bursts because we have little short climbs where you have to, 500 watts for 30 seconds and things like that. Whereas road cycling here in New Zealand, we have a lot of hills. Portugal has good hills too, doesn't it? Yeah. But they're generally longer, so your style is different on the road bike. Even here in New Zealand, it's not as punchy. So I think mountain biking has helped with that punchy.
Tell me more about your experience in mountain biking, Jamie. When did you start that? Because it seems to be your passion. Your passion, when you talk, it's like, wow.
Absolutely. So back in high school, I'm actually 50.
Okay.
So yeah. And
you look
when
like
you say
40.
I'm actually 50. You look much younger.
People don't often believe me. So yeah. So I'm way back when mountain bikes first came out is when I started mountain biking, 1986. So were you born then, Diogo?
No. None of us were born.
Yeah. So 1986 was when I got my first mountain bike, and then I've just sort of stuck with it through and through. But New Zealand, we have a lot of mountain biking here, so it's fairly competitive. I would like to think I'm in my age group, previous 40 to 49, top 10 in New Zealand. I would hope. I think. Don't know.
That's great.
And then so we have a big group of us, all very similar. So it's really good, really really good. So. And
does Wade follow you in this passion as well?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been riding together?
So I used to live in a different city on the other island in New Zealand. So Wade and I have been really good friends for maybe 6 years now. And when I moved up from the other island to the North Island, to Wellington, the capital city, the first mountain bike race I entered, he was entered, and he thought I cheated. He thought I had hidden in the bushes and jumped out halfway through the race because
you were too powerful.
All of a sudden I turned up and he was no longer winning. So
wow.
So
that's that's a great story.
It's been a joke, long-standing story that he always tells. But yeah, we've been very very good friends from that moment and compete against each other. So yeah.
How does Zwift improved or maybe helped you with your performance?
I think, and Diogo can probably agree with this, is just it's a 1 hour interval session, really. It's full on, just as hard as you can pedal a lot of the time, and surgy, power, you can, one of the stages that we've done in Chasing Yellow, I felt, it might have been New York actually, I feel like every 30 seconds we were doing a 30-second sprint, and then a little rest, and then another sprint, and then another rest. And that's why Wade and I did Chasing Yellow, was purely for the fitness and the training aspect of it. But Diogo has turned it into this big
competition.
Yeah. And we have had so much fun. It has every night we look forward to. Yeah, we look forward to this. This is like, oh man, we have to wait till 9:30 because it's at 9:30 p.m. in New Zealand time. So we're like all day long. We're like do, come on. So yeah, because it is so much fun. We've had a really good time. So
it's really nice to see that as a part of Zwift that maybe not many people talk about, is that this healthy competition that happens without you even knowing. Maybe someone is chasing you for a long time and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's behind me for 3 stages now. So maybe now we are digital friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great, I think that's a great impact on the power of Zwift as well, in the virtual racing. Yeah. And something that people tend to not mention because they always focus on performance and stuff like that. But actually there's people on the other side and they even can start talking just like we are doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, do you feel that TugaZ as a rivalry or a healthy rivalry that's happening for the chasing race?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we never know who is going to turn up for Diogo on a stage. We're like, is it going to be
me neither, Jamie? Me neither.
So, and was it one of the nights you didn't have? It was just you, and maybe there was an A grader as well. But we were like, the first thing I messaged to Wade. I said, he's alone. And so we thought we had you, but that might have been
yesterday?
Night. Was it yesterday?
No, I would say yesterday I was also a bit alone. The problem is like a week ago, right after the rest day on Tuesday, I remember I was alone and you guys were attacking me in turns. It was awful. You killed me.
That was
Jesus Christ.
In that episode, Diogo said, like, these guys just surround me and beat me with a stick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. All in good fun, though, I promise. Yeah.
He liked it.
But that would have been the night that we were sitting in the pen at the beginning, and I messaged and was, he is alone. And so we knew we could beat you up that night.
That's great. How does that make you feel, Diogo? Now that you know the story.
Special, I would say. Special, because to be fair, Jamie, I watch also other races and stuff like that, and there are eventually 2 or 3 very strong riders in other time slots. Adam Bolton, for instance, is a beast. Absolutely.
Yep.
Sadly, we are not racing against him because, like, to our time slot, he races 6:30. We race p.m. We race 10:30 a.m. Again, Portuguese time. Okay, completely different in your time slots. And it's a bummer, but I always consider Jamie the strongest rider. So I really believe you deserve a podium, and you'll get the podium in the end. So I feel special to be being considered a contender. You know?
Yeah. Well, and to carry on with that, when Wade and I started to take the whole GC thing a bit more seriously, we thought, really, we have to go into another time slot to try and create a time gap against those other people. I think someone Crouch is a name. So we're like, we really have to go into that time to try and create a gap. But we enjoy our time slot with you, Ryan Norwood, Feng. You know, we have a good group, I think, and it's usually you, myself, and Ken and Wade sort of fighting it out. But every now and again, we get someone else in there, and I like the battle. So
yeah, me too. And I had the same feeling, and actually, there was one stage that I had internet problems, and I had to go to 1 p.m. And I had Matthew Humphrey with us. He's also a very strong rider. He already competed in our time slot eventually 3-4 times. Very solid rider. But I felt so easy that time slot, you know. I end up second or third, but like in the front group, you know. So to be fair, I think like for me, especially, it has been way more motivating to race against you, especially because that's cool. I appreciate it, you know. Then going to other time slots and make it even easier or whatever, you know.
I would like to do something interesting now that Jamie's here. Like, I would love to us to do an analysis of tomorrow's stage from both of your perspectives, because you have a completely different perspective on what's going on, I'm sure. So I'm curious to know how you react. Do you understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to remind myself of exactly how horrible it is. So I'll just,
I will share my screen. Yeah, exactly. I'll share my screen.
And just for anyone that is watching, tomorrow is the it's the Zwift, which is just a replica of the Zwift. If anyone has ever climbed it in real life, it's exactly the same, but it's digital this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll do Titans Grove Com reverse. So it's a 1 kilometer com. It will be a bit explosive, but I don't expect many people, not even Alan, attacking there, because he will be saving energy, that's for sure. Then we'll do the epic com.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie.
We might have people attack. I think someone like Ken, I don't know, we've not, Ken and Wade and I have not talked about tomorrow's stage, but someone like Ken might attack and try and stay with the A graders on that first climb. Almost, I don't know if in Portuguese you say the same terminology, but we call it lag climbing. If he can get ahead with the A graders on that first climb and get a gap on you and I, then he might think he can get a big enough gap that he will go slower on the Alp than you and I, and might just stay ahead of us. So I don't know. But,
I challenge. So one thing, like the spoiler alert, tomorrow I'll be a rider supporting me. So I'll be.
That'll be a good rider. That's what.
I mean, a very strong rider, way stronger than us, supporting me. So even if Ken attacks and he follows the draft of the A's, I won't be too scared because I'll bet on the climbs per se, you know, and hopefully I'll try not to use too much energy. But like just for the context, we'll be doing the Titans Grove Com. We'll quickly reach the beginning of the Epicom and we'll go to the radio tower, right? So it will be until until the top. Just for the context, and here I think like it's easier to show. The Epicom, it will be a very long climb. We already did it, like maybe 4-meter elevation, sort of, and then we'll do 1 kilometer or something like that. Will we go to the radio tower?
I don't think we do.
Maybe not, because radio tower is really.
Steep.
really steep. Exactly, 15%.
It's only about 1 kilometer, but it takes 9 minutes. That's how steep it is.
Exactly. I wish.
When I see the profile of tomorrow's stage, I see clearly that this is a stage for Diogo because he likes these long climbs on a just like steady elevation or profile. Is that how you see that as well, Jamie? What is your superpower? Is these climbs as well?
I don't think I'm as strong as Diogo on the climb. Diogo can go for a long time at just a consistent pace, and he proved that the other night when he won beautifully, like it was
2 stages ago.
I could not catch him at all. And so I think tomorrow's stage is got your name written all over it. It will be tough to stick with you. I think I can just, and same with Wade, we can just keep going. Like we won't give up. We will keep chasing as hard as we can, and until we vomit to try.
What do you think is your superpower? It's just that resilience as a cyclist.
Stamina, just not giving up. I think.
Okay. Both physically and mental.
Yeah, and knowing, I'm good at knowing that I can hold a certain amount of watts for a certain amount of time, and like that's how my brain works. Whereas Wade rides to feel. If he's feeling good, he will push harder until he is not feeling good. Whereas I know a number and I'll ride to that number, and I'll just stick at it. And so it's. Yeah, I think, and it's just more not giving up. The other night when I was chasing Diogo 2 stages ago, I was dribbling, but I could not give up. So yeah, it was. I think.
But just for the context, I had like 2 good stages with 2 stage wins, especially I think like the most special was definitely a week ago in the high mountains. I think like I did it very, very smoothly. Like the first mountain and the second mountain, I did it. And in the front, I was feeling very, very good. And third mountain, I attacked from the beginning. But I have to say, Jamie, you have been way more consistent in every single type of profile. You've been beating me so hard. So congrats, because to be fair, I'm the one feeling that, like most of the times I feel completely drained with no legs and you are in the front, 50 seconds ahead, 1 minute ahead, so congrats, you've been fantastic.
I don't, when I start riding, I don't feel very good, but I sort of, I don't know if it's another term you would use, but we say ride into your legs. I ride into, and I feel, I was saying to Wade tonight at the end, I feel like I have ridden into chasing yellow. I feel like I've got stronger as it has gone on. obviously getting fitter, but the fatigue is different. I just know I can get on the bike and I can ride. And I didn't have a sprint tonight because my legs, I don't have the pop, but I can just keep going. So I think it's been good. It's been good.
How are you preparing mentally for the Alpe d'Huez, Jamie and Diogo? Go ahead, Jamie.
I can go. To be fair, like, I think like this is the type of stage I'm looking for, especially because Alpe, I really like the Alpe.
Yeah.
I hope I have legs and I have no problem with food or hydration. That will be crucial to stay strong enough. I know Jamie and Wade will ride brilliantly, and I'm pretty sure it will be a very, very epic battle until the top. What I'll try to do, and I'll be very, very frontal, is I'm trying to drop Alan very fast because I still want to overcome. I have like almost an 8-minute gap, but I really believe, 8-minute gap. It's 7:50, something like that. Especially after I got 6 minutes a week ago in one stage to him, I'll try to make history in the Alpe d'Huez. And I'll try to beat Alan and still overcome him in the GC, knowing that the individual time trial will be a struggle for him because he's very consistent. But luckily, we have a big climb for me to recover. But yeah, so I'm very looking forward. I'm really excited, and I really hope that I have legs. And having a team also makes me feel really comfortable, you know. But I have a question, Jamie. If Alan drops too early, will you try to help him out?
Probably not, because he himself has said that tomorrow is not going to be a good stage for him. So, I mean, I consider you a threat because quite easily tomorrow, eight minutes over tomorrow's course isn't very much. You could get 8 minutes just on the Alp alone easily. So I think I have to think about that because you're coming. So it's.
I'll try to do my best in the Alp. Like I promise you.
Same.
It will be fun. It will be fun. But I tell you one thing: if you wait for Alan way too early, I think it might be a struggle. And especially for GC. If you lose too much time, Adam Bolton will overcome you. And if Wade waits, it will be overcome too by other people around, you know? So I don't think Alan, you guys can't wait for Alan.
No.
I wish him the best. It will be a very good battle, but I won't go easy. That's my promise.
And we wouldn't expect you to. That's why tonight I was like, bring everyone together, because tonight's stage was our last hurrah, because tomorrow is going to be tough. But I agree with you. Like I said, I have not talked to Ken, but I don't think he would expect me to wait tomorrow for that exact reason, and that when we hit the Alp, I don't want to be too far behind you to not be able to close the gap up. So I think he's going for the points, whereas I'm going for the time. So I don't think he would be disappointed if I didn't wait for him. So
That's great.
So,
and by the way, I don't think we'll be separated before the Alp starts. I think Wade and I think like we'll be in the same group.
Yeah.
And I think like for me in particular, especially if I ride against you, I'll try to close my eyes and go at my pace, because it's so frustrating. I keep looking to the time gap and stuff like that, and puts additional pressure. Do you feel the same?
Yeah.
And gets into our mind, right?
Yep. It's what I was looking at the other night, and I was going as hard as I could, and the time gap was not moving. And then at the end, I was going even harder, and you were accelerating away. And it does. it's just like, this is not fair. So yeah, I agree. The extra pressure is you just can't, you have to put it out of your mind. So yeah.
This was a great conversation. I have to say my famous goodbye. But before that, Jamie and Diogo, do you want to tell anything to the audience?
Are you going to do a bike? Are you going to do a bike swap at the bottom of that? Well, no. Yeah, how come you're not right? Why aren't you right?
You're right.
That's a good question.
Yes, one day.
This is a good question.
Yeah, are you going to do a bike swap at the bottom of the Alp tomorrow?
Great question.
Yeah, I have to. That's a good one. So I'll be very blunt. Okay, blunt. So there are two things that I can do, and I didn't decide.
Yeah,
actually, there are three strategies, and I'll tell you. One strategy is picking Tron and going Tron all the way up, because to be fair, I used the Tron bike against you with a light setup 1 week ago, and I was still okay.
Yep.
You know,
you pulled the Tron was much better choice that night. You pulled away from me, I think. So yeah.
But the thing is, in theory, for the climb, the Tron is worse. I think the thing is, I saved a lot of energy until the climb. That's why I chose the Tron. That's number one. The second one is because I don't have it confirmed yet, but if I have a TugaZ train to support me, I will go with a lighter setup ever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I won't swap the bike. And there's still the third possibility, which is starting with Tron for the epic. And when I get to the Alp, I do a swap. Because a swap, just for the audience, it might take me like 50 seconds, but in Alp, 50 seconds I can recover so easily. Yeah. What do you feel, Jamie? What are your theories?
Exactly the same as you. I obviously won't have a train to help me, but I would use your train.
Great strategy.
So, yeah, perfect. But mine is exactly the same as your strategy. I would either go the Tron and stay on it for the whole ride, or identical to you. And if I am a long way behind you at the bottom of the Alp, I would sacrifice 15, 20 seconds to do the bike swap and try and at least close some of the gap, because I think,
But actually, that's the thing. So if I end up getting even 10 seconds ahead of you or any other, I will do the swap because it will favor me, you know? But I think like the swap is a good strategy, to be fair. I think like 15 seconds in the Alp, it's nothing.
Easy,
So I really suggest that one. And that's probably that will be probably my strategy too.
Yeah, I'll play. We say play it by ear. Yeah, in English. So and we'll see. But
I wish you the best of luck, Jamie.
Same, and I will see you there.
Thank you very much for joining us. Because for anyone that is watching, it's probably like almost 1 a.m. in New Zealand at the moment, right?
12:20 a.m.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
It's very late.
No,
Jamie should probably be sleeping already for tomorrow stage.
I'm too excited.
Thank you very much for joining us. It was a pleasure to meet you and to know a little bit more about NZBROs and the whole clan.
Thanks for having me. So
and thank you, Diogo, for your
Thank you so much.
strategies.
Thank you, Fabio.
And wait a second, I need to do my famous goodbyes. That's like famous now. So tomorrow, don't forget to follow anything on Cycling District on YouTube. And then if you want to follow tomorrow's stage, I'm actually keen for tomorrow's stage. I was waiting for this stage since we started. Just go on Twitch and follow Diogo_Cycling TV. And just keep coming and keep subscribing, keep giving your likes and keeping giving your comments, because we can have these conversations with everyone in Zwift and help you improve your performance. So thank you very much, everyone.
And it is fun. It is fun.
And it's fun.
See you. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, James.